See that way over there? We paid 30 bucks to park here. If you want to get any closer than this, you got to pay another $16 to ride the bus.
Kind of a letdown after where we just came from.
Yeah.
Just a little.
You can't hike up there, you can't bike up there, you can't, there's no other way to get there other than paying extra to take the bus. So if you come here thinking, oh cool, I'm gonna walk it, sorry. Cut, let's try it again.
Just ride all the way to the rainbow's end. Just ride. Let's pack up a life, baby, and call it a night. 'Cause the longer we stay here, the harder the fight. I said, hey, yeah, 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 call it a start by leaving behind what's breaking our hearts. I said, hey, yeah, 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 follow the spark. Ain't nothing but a one way.
Haley, this is called Bear Country U.S.A, where you drive through and look at bears. You want to do that? Discovery Den. Oh my gosh, look at the baby bear! Oh my god! Baby bear! Oh,
Okay, we're gonna have to come back.
oh my god, squeak! Look at that heart, squeak there!
Then you'll arrive at your destination.
Oh, that's a stupid. Pull up here. It's a little office. It's a cute little office.
Well, haven't dumped in a couple days. I'm about to find out if this little contraption did its job. I'm a little nervous because the last time I opened this, I had to take a shower.
So what happened, honey?
I had an incident.
What kind of incident?
I'm covered in Fingers crossed. Nothing. Thank you. That's $25 I've ever spent on this thing.
Travel spending remains low compared to the same time last year, but they are seeing some improvements, with weekly spending reaching $11.3 billion in the end of June, at that time its highest level since March. In New York City, Mal Rivera, back to you.
Good morning. We are on our way to see Mount Rushmore. They say the best time to get there is between 9 and 10 because the lighting's perfect. So here it is about 12:30 and we're on our way.
Hurry up! I want to see some granite presidents! Waiting all morning.
What does this remind you of?
Gatlinburg.
Gatlinburg. 100%.
Exactly like Gatlinburg.
Just like Gatlinburg.
Oh my gosh, look at the train!
Whoa! I mean, this is freaking Gatlinburg.
It's totally
in South Dakota.
Yeah.
100%.
It's super touristy.
This reminds me a lot of going to Disney for the first time. And, everybody's walking up the Magic Kingdom, stopping, taking pictures. You know, you expect that beautiful shot. There's like 1,000 people in the way. Kind of the same thing here. Definitely a tourist destination. But man, it's pretty impressive. It really is.
It's smaller than it looks on TV.
Yeah, but it's way up there.
I mean,
though.
from way down here, yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, one more time. Mount Rushmore is definitely touristy, as Trish would say, because that's what it was built for. In 1927, sculptor Gutzon Borglum designed the monument to draw visitors to the area and led a crew of over 400 people to drill, blast, and chip away at the rock with surgical precision to reveal the presidential faces. The result was the American icon that we all recognize today. But Mount Rushmore wasn't always supposed to look like this. In the original design, Jefferson was supposed to be on the left of Washington, but the rock was unstable, so they blasted his face off with dynamite and started over on the other side. Also, each one of the 60-foot faces was supposed to have a body to go with it, but in 1941, the Rushmore project got hit with a double whammy when Gutzon suddenly died from an embolism, leaving his son Lincoln to finish the project. And they also ran out of government funding that year since the war effort was a little higher on the priority list. Remember that secret room behind the faces from National Treasure? It's really up there. It's called the Hall of Records, and it was supposed to hold carvings depicting the growth of our country for future historians that might wonder what this monument was for. Kind of the way we look at hieroglyphs in the Egyptian pyramids. But that didn't get finished either. For years, it was accessible by special request, but in '98, they sealed copies of our important documents in a titanium vault, covered it with a granite slab, and closed it off over safety concerns. Plus, in 2009, a group of environmental activists scaled the 800-foot stairway and hung a sign off of Lincoln's face. So nobody's allowed up there now. Not even Nick Cage.
Really?
The closest you can get these days is a trail that runs about halfway up the mountain. If you wear the right shoes.
I don't have the right shoes, babe.
I'll carry you.
Seriously, I'm the only one that doesn't have the right shoes. I didn't know you wanted to hike it. It's like 0.6 miles.
I didn't know there was a trail back there. So this is the stage that the president stood on about 3 weeks ago during the 4th of July celebration. At the time, we were down in Savannah desperately wanting to see fireworks, but everything down there was canceled due to the COVID mess. Instead, we went back to the camper, turned on the TV, and watched the fireworks celebration right here over Mount Rushmore. And then to be standing here a few weeks later.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Are we crazy?
A little bit. I love it though.
Oh, you just broke my sunglasses.
My bad.
Okay, they're only $2.
These 4 presidents were chosen to represent the key moments that defined our country. George Washington for its birth, Thomas Jefferson for its growth, Teddy Roosevelt for its development, and Abe Lincoln for its preservation. But it turns out Jefferson got immortalized here not just for writing the Declaration of Independence, but he also had a pretty mean ice cream recipe. So we're about to get some of Thomas Jefferson's original recipe vanilla ice cream, like the OG vanilla ice cream.
It was the first vanilla ice cream recipe in the United States.
First one in the U.S.
That's what it says.
And they haven't changed it a bit.
Not that I know of.
Awesome.
It wouldn't be authentic.
That's true. That's true. See if it's any good. Oh, they got hot dogs too. And buffalo chili.
Buy some chili.
Buffalo. It says buffalo.
Oh, buffalo.
That 4th of July celebration definitely drew a lot of attention to Mount Rushmore, but it also stirred up controversy. I mean, what isn't controversial these days? There's still an ongoing land dispute by the Native Americans that considered this area sacred ground, and they claim it was stolen from them in the pursuit of gold. But a few miles up the road, there's an even bigger monument being built in their honor, depicting the Lakota Tribe's own larger-than-life hero, Crazy Horse. Well, you you'll see here in a little bit, this was supposed to be a much bigger sculpture. Much bigger monument. They've got examples of what it was supposed to look like.
What happened?
He was supposed to be riding a horse and have his arm pointing out, and the little hole in the middle was basically his armpit. But he didn't get to finish it. So all we got was a face and a finger. See that way over there? We paid $30 to park here. If you want to get any closer than this, you got to pay another $16 to ride the bus.
Kind of a letdown after where we just came from.
Yeah.
Just a little.
You can't hike up there, you can't bike up there, you can't, there's no other way to get there other than paying extra to take the bus. So if you come here thinking, oh cool, I'm gonna walk it, sorry. Cut, let's try it again. So if you come here thinking, okay, I'm gonna park at Crazy Horse, I'm gonna take a walk up there, I'm gonna, stand out on what's supposed to be his arm, it ain't gonna happen. You gotta spend money to get here, then more money to get there. So don't get too excited. Anyway, let's go check out the visitor center and maybe get a bus ticket, I don't know.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. Okay, so we just came in here. Here's the model of what it was supposed to look like.
1 3/4 scale.
Yeah, and then a viewing veranda. And then we'll find out about that bus ride and see just how close it gets. Okay, so I've got a bad habit of not really researching these places before we go. And I was a little disappointed that we paid $30 just to walk around the visitor center. But this place wasn't just about the big rock out there. It was about the culture of the people that were native to this area. And it gave a little insight into why they cared so much about the guy that was being carved into that rock. I've watched a documentary a few years back and I understood the meaning behind the sculpture. And I remember it was an unfinished project. But I also remember seeing tourists standing out on his arm. And I still hadn't figured out why that wasn't an option. After taking a peek through those binocular thingies, it all started to make sense. Yeah, look up top. You see like the construction crew?
Oh yeah, there's actually people up there.
Yeah, there's a water truck up there. I can't see it through this thing, but it's definitely up there.
Well, it looks a lot better through this.
Okay, so that's got me wondering. I wonder if, like, normally you can go up there and stand on it, but you just can't right now because it's under construction. Right? They're doing some kind of repairs, maintenance.
They said no hiking or biking right now, so I think normally, you should be able to go hike or bike up to it,
Yeah.
but
We gotta look into that, because if normally we could go up there and we can't now, I'm a little bummed. Trish was right. This isn't an abandoned project like I thought. It's still an active construction site, but if you plan ahead, you can still visit the top on certain days. Unfortunately, we didn't plan ahead and today wasn't one of those days. Crazy Horse was a hero to the Lakota because he stood up against the government when they tried to take their land. In 1939, Chief Henry Standing Bear commissioned Polish artist Korzak Zielkowski to carve the image of Crazy Horse into the mountain. He didn't have any formal training, but he was good at what he did, and a lot of his works are still on display in his studio. Zielkowski had actually worked for Gutzon Borglum on the Rushmore project, but he got fired after getting in a fist fight with Gutzon's son Lincoln. Speaking of Gutzon Borglum, the Lakota had actually reached out to him first to try to get Crazy Horse on Mount Rushmore, but they never heard back. So Standing Bear offered the government 900 acres of his own farmland in exchange for the barren land that the mountain stands on, and they agreed. But he didn't ask the government for money. Instead, the entire project was paid for through donations. Construction started in 1948, and it still continues to this day. The final sculpture will stand at a whopping 563 feet tall when it's finished. Unfortunately, nobody really knows when it's going to be finished. That's the bad thing about being publicly funded. Progress tends to be a little bit slower when the money just trickles in. But the good thing is, you don't have to worry about the government pulling the plug on you. Remember, Rushmore only got 4 heads because the government cut them off. But Crazy Horse will get to take his last ride one day in spite of the government. And that's just the way he would have wanted it. Okay, so I learned something. I thought that they'd started building this monument a long time ago and just stopped. That's not the case. The reason you can't actually go up there and walk around on it and get too close is because it's actively under construction. So the guy that built it had this big vision to carve out this giant statue of Crazy Horse. It would be massively bigger than Mount Rushmore. Plan on having it done in 30 years. Well, it's still not done. He passed away in 1982. and his dying wish was that his family would carry on the legacy and continue carving out Crazy Horse. So it's still under construction today, and that's why you can't just go up there and check it out. Also, when he passed away, he chose to be buried right there. It's a hell of a tombstone, isn't it? Looking back on it now, I wish I hadn't complained about those prices. That money will help keep the project going, and even if I don't get to see Crazy Horse finished in my lifetime, maybe my kids or my grandkids will. That's worth $30. I kind of wish we'd done the bus tour too, but it was getting late, and I had a little girl that wanted to see some bears.
There's the naked winery.
Hey, hey, I wonder if in the naked winery, if you still have to wear a mask.
Probably.
Mask required. That's it.
Where are we, Haley?
Look, BooBoo's. Haley, up here.
Oh, so many BooBoos.
All right, kids, remember, keep your windows up.
You can take your seatbelts off now.
In the months after I got laid off, and before we sold the house and set off on this journey, we all struggled to stay positive. The kids were fighting with each other nonstop, and my favorite shirts all had stains where Trish had laid her head to cry.
Okay, next will be reindeer. They're slowing. Oh, they're all on the road up there.
Right.
Yeah.
She called me her rock because I never showed emotion. Honestly, I'd spent so long worrying about the future that I just went numb. It felt like I had a rock in my chest where my heart used to be. And I was hoping, I was praying that a little highway therapy would fix that.
Oh, look at this.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Right there.
Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! Look at that! Oh my gosh! Look at the antlers! That is insane! Oh, they're coming right up too.
Oh
my god! Oh my god! They're coming right up to the window.
I'm a little worried about my insurance policy right now.
Just look at them.
Oh, whew. Hit that recirculating button. I smell reindeer exhaust. I bet that's what Santa really smells like. When Gutson, Borglum, and Korzak Zukowski first looked at those mountains, they didn't see the rock. They saw what was hiding inside of it. They knew it would take a lot of work, but they saw an opportunity to carve out something new that would leave a legacy long after they were gone.
Calm down, please.
Standing there at Mount Rushmore and seeing my kids hugging each other for the first time in months gave me a feeling that chipped off the first piece of that rock in my chest. And I realized that this was my opportunity to pick up a chisel and show my family what I was really made of.
Gee.
Especially Trish. What's the matter, buddy?
What's wrong, honey?
Are you okay?
It's okay. They're not going to hurt you.
It's all right.
You're in the truck.
It's so big. I may never be as polished as George, Tom, Teddy, and Abe, but that's okay. She knows I'm kind of like Crazy Horse anyway. I'm still a work in progress, and nothing is going to stop me. No matter what,
Are we crazy?
I'll always be her rock.
A little bit. I love it though.
Because she's always been mine.
I hold on to